Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome in the second part of a presentation lecture, where in the previous lecture we usually talk about it how you should prepare. Today we will talk about it how you should deliver a presentation. So in the first part we already covered the presentation topic and the rules of presentation. In today's lecture we will mainly talk about the Aristotle 5 point, what are the effective presentation and how the outline should look like, how you can keep in mind the listener as well, and also to very clearly mention, as I mentioned already in the very first introduction to the final term lecture, the PowerPoint contains 15% of your sessional marks, which you need to submit at the 11th week, and it should not be more than 5 slides, and you need to dub your audio or video voice on your PPT. Coming to our topic, what is Aristotle 5 point or 5 plan for the effective presentation? The first one, as I mentioned, deliver a story or a statement that arouses the audience interest. First of all, you need to present a problem. You need to pose a problem, and then you need to suggest the answer or solution. And then you also need to offer a solution to the problem you have raised through your methodology. And then you also need to come up with the benefits of your solution, why they are more unique or why they are more helpful or successful in terms of other solution. And then you also need to come up with a future kind of action what we need to do. Okay, so here the main important point of Aristotle effective presentation, that everyone can do it. Okay, this is not something, as I believe that every student have a unique capacity and understanding. Everyone have different intelligently he should act or react differently from other people. So of course each and everyone can do that if he follow the same instruction. So we are now going to apply those 5 points to our presentation level. The first one is about the title, the second one is about the outline. Regarding the title, the title, it should exactly look like the headline. It should look like the kind of a news, like the sustainable solution to transportation problems, or the effective way of communications, or something which actually take or attract the people attention. And the outline, it should be very clearly or like broadly express about the speaker, that why you should attend this specifically seminar or the conference presentation. So the good example of a headline, they like, if there is a 100 songs in your pocket, okay, so the question is which song you should play in the party which can attract most of the people. So that's very tough thing to select. Okay, and then we have so many like notebook, MacBook, or like nowadays we have the air launch. So the question is how you can attract the people reading attention, how you can attract more people to read your book. Okay, so these are the scale, these are the headline. So something, if you can make maybe some of the example of your title of your work, it should be concise, it should be concrete, it should be short. So like again, as I mentioned before, it should be concise, it should highlight the main idea. Okay, something, for example, like efficient MCDM based solution provider to the complex problem, or like sustainable solution to the problems, or like effective communication skills, something which should be efficient, which should also mention about the methodology or the tools, and also it should also focus on the statement of the problem or the nature of the problem. So example of a good and bad titles, as you can see here in the example number 1 and 2, if our title are like that much lengthy, we will lost so many people. As like personally me, I do not understand what does actually it means. Okay, so you can see here these are the example of a very bad title, which as a result you will basically confuse so many people. So you need to avoid such type of a very lengthy titles. So the good example in my view, it should be like, like sustainable development solution for Peshawar, transportation effectivity and issues, how to write a scientific report, power efficient mechanism for IT lookup, etc. Maybe you can also, this is also your home task as well, maybe you can also provide some of the good and bad example as well. So bad we have too many, but you can maybe try for the good examples. Now coming towards the title is already finished. Now we are talking about the outline of the presentation. The question is how the outline of the presentation should look like. Okay, the first is your message should be properly delivered to the receiver, to the audience. Okay, since title deliver the main message, keep the title should be concise and informative, which should give the main idea about your work. Keep the outline as simple as possible and show it to your listener so that they can get the structure of your work, what you want to mention, what is there. So that's very important. And the outline should not basically confuse and bore the people as well. As you can see here, if the structure looks like that, that's really kind of a chaos, and is will not very much attract too many people. So again, in a very short words, the outline should be in a channelized way, which should attract more people attention, which should not bore the people, which should not create a kind of a mess inside the symposium hall, inside the conference or seminar or in the classroom. Again, as I mentioned, the same figure, the same picture in the previous slide as well. If you did not follow those rules, then you will end up with something like that, and the audience will end up like this because they are not able to receive the message, and you are going to bore them. And the people who will actually decide for your work, maybe they will not be in your favor, because okay, they are the 2 or 3 people who basically judge the things. But if the more people take attention in your work, maybe that could also change the decision of the decision jury as well, because they also try to look to the people, that how many people are taking interest in the same topic, and how much people are attracted in like kind of a interested in the topic. So the example of the outline should be what is mean by the proposed architecture search engine. So like conclusion and future work. Do not go with so much detail. Basically what is your title, so like you should also explain there, and what you want to achieve, that means what is mean by, and what you propose, this whole is or methodology. And then when you apply the same methodology result, what type of a performance evaluation you got, and what you have concluded, and what is your future work. So the effective structure should be look like, when you want to do, or you have done this research, and what your objectives are like. So it should clearly mention that these are our objective, and then at the end of a presentation, then you need to compare it with your conclusion. Are they going to satisfy the objective or not? Okay, and then you also need to present your work in a very structure wise. Again, you also go in the very substructure as well. Okay, but you don't need to lose the people attention as well, because you also need to focus on the people perception, on the people perspective, on the people attention. In the outline, the very simple question you should ask from yourself: why do you want to do, or what you have done in this research, and what your objectives are. Okay, so listeners should only know where they are. Okay, because if you come up with so many things, then they might get lost. Prepare your presentation in terms of a figures, graph, table, and some type of a type of a messages, or like a slogans or something which can attract their attention, and try to complete your task within the given time. always keep the back of a slide, because sometimes in some of the system or in a computer the PowerPoint is not working, so you should have the PDF file as well. Okay, and also, for example, if they assign a 10 to 15 minutes for your presentation, at the end you also need to prepare your work that your slide should contain like not more than 12, where you can conclude and summarize the whole idea, and also you should spare some time for the question and answer as well. And also always imagine the safety margin in your work. Your work should lie in the same context. Like, this doesn't mean that some of the slide is too long, too lengthy in and spreading in each and every direction of the slide. This is completely wrong and unacceptable. You should actually follow the same format, the same font size, the same line spacing, and the same type of a design as well. Regarding the table and figures, you should also use some of the tables and few rows as well. You also need to differentiate or like mention different colors for like different tables and different figure, which could basically differentiate them from each other. I would also suggest that most of the people, what mistake they do, they come directly copy and paste the things from their thesis, which is completely wrong, because in a thesis you need to mention everything in a very elaborate form, and here you are going to deliver it in the terms of the presentation. Avoid too like cultured slides. Okay, remember equation, not too many. Okay, because equation the people don't have any idea. So if you come up with something like that, as personally I do not understand what does it mean, and I don't care what you want to predict. If you just mention the methodology, the name of methodology, that's it, then there you don't need to mention anything there. Okay, because this is kind of a confusing. Your voice, if you have a monotone, that will actually kill the audience. You need to change the pitch. You need to also change the gesture and posture as well. Keep in mind, the voice and sound is not the only thing in presentation. You also need to focus on your gesture as well. Okay, you also need to change your place. You also need to change your attention. You also need to like divert the people mind as well a little bit. And keep in mind, you should actually focus that how more you can get the people attention. If your presentation is too lengthy, you also need to give kind of a break time, so that the people can relax and then they can come back and then they can listen to your presentation as well. So if you want to like show any slide, the most important thing is that what is the message in this slide, what you want to say here. It should clearly define. Like if it's objective, it should be in the bullet form. If it's a methodology, it should be in the bullet form, that why you use that one, why you did not select that one. Okay, you should also get to know the answer of the same question in terms of the literature evidence. The eye contact is very much important. If you don't have eye contact, then you will lose too many audience as well. Okay, some of the people, if they are a little bit shy, usually they select some of the people, some of the student, some of the kind of like a friends to whom they can look and on whom they can trust, because maybe they will not laugh. Some of the student, and like most of the school kids, they usually make a type of a horrible kind of a mistake, because if you are on the stage, no one want to see your teeth. Each and everyone is more interested in the gesture and posture and the idea what you want to say. In the summary, we usually talk in the very last, we talk about in this topic about the presentation, how you should deliver it, what are its 5 basic rule, and what are the Aristotle 5 point through which you can effectively present your presentation, and also what are the things which you need to remember, what are the things which you need to keep in mind in terms of the people who are going to listen to your work. So I'm expecting kind of a group task, not a group task but individual, but if it's hard for you people, you can also make a group of 2 people. Okay, so you can also submit your presentation, but if you are in a group, so your slide should not be more than 10. If you are individual, then you should do it individually with not more than 5. As I just want to see that have you incorporate all those rules and regulation or not, and that will contain 15% of your sessional marks, as I mentioned again and again. And the deadline of this submission is 11th week. Okay.